Hello traders, very good afternoon. So the current time is 4:06 p.m. Today is the 18th of December 2019 and welcome to episode 51 for the post-market analysis by Trade Education. And before I share today's analysis, just to give you a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for everyone. Also, whatever information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. So with that, let us quickly look at, how the auction developed today, and let me quickly share the screen. So first of all, I have switched on my monitor due to which, so I'm using a different monitor due to which, there is some, I would say dimension issues. I have bought an LG ultra wide monitor. This is a 34-inch monitor, and that's why, my recording screen is, not fitting it perfectly. So first of all, apologies for that, and let me quickly start, with how the auction developed today and from the daily chart analysis. So what you see is first of all from the 20 EMA, we are seeing a strong uptrend. We are strong, buying is happening. Yesterday, it was all-time high was developed, and today what we are seeing is we are seeing follow through. So this indicates that new businesses are stepping in, or new people, or new positional traders are stepping in, and now we'll see further continuation to the higher side. So that is what I'm currently looking at in the overall so if you ignore today's chart, okay, if you ignore today's chart, then if you see, we are not seeing so there is a sort of a trend line, sort of a thing which, if you connect this or if you connect this, there will be a sort of trend line type of activity which is happening, and new businesses are stepping in. So more what I'll be expecting is that we need to have further continuation on the higher side. But the alarming thing, for me is with this new all-time high, the volumes are, pretty flat. If you see at the bottom, the volumes are also very pretty flat. So not a good sign. So currently, what I'm doing is I'm just looking at the auction. If we are seeing follow through, then I just look for dips. I buy low and sell high. That is the type of strategy which I'm currently using. Okay, so let me first quickly take you through what were the reference areas, which I was monitoring. So some of the references, were yesterday's high, yesterday's close, and yesterday's low. Okay, so what happened is, so this is today's open, and for the first, I think 2 hours or 3 hours, I was getting a feeling that we'll be having a balanced profile, sort of balanced profile, and well, because yesterday we had an excess, so the auction, so this we had a very small excess, and we also have some excess here. We also have single prints here and single prints here. So what I was expecting is, the open to be somewhere around the highs. Then the auction will again quickly come within yesterday's range, and then we'll be seeing, downfall, clearing out all these single prints. So that was the initial thought process, which I had. But what had happened is, so this is today's open. There was a sharp rejection seen. Okay. So what I was expecting is I was expecting continuation to downside, but something different happened. So what different happened is, after the A period, the P period was an inside bar. C period gave us a direction that yes, we'll be seeing further continuation to the downside. So my monitoring references shifted to the point of control. I was just looking, I was just observing keenly whether the auction is reaching here or not. So some of the monitoring references was this point of control and the yesterday's high. Okay, so the auction was just, it was just trailing sideways. There was no clarity. But if you see Bank Nifty, there was clear clarity that the auction is going down. After it reached a support level, then again the auction started reversing. So I had good trades in Bank Nifty. I was not able to trade anything in Nifty today. Okay, so what happened is, it did not reach the point of control level, but the auction started reversing. Okay, so what happened is, there were this clustered of over highs which were created. So this was one data point, which I was keeping. Apart from that, I did not have any data point. So I was not confident whether to, take a long trade or to take a short trade. Then what happened is once this poor eye got clear and a breakout happened, and when the depop shifted higher, that gave me some sort of confidence that yes, this will be the all-time high, and after this we'll be seeing further continuation to the downside. But as I was looking at Bank Nifty, Nifty was rising. Bank Nifty was either balancing or it was declining. So there was no confluence between these two markets. So this didn't give me any strong conviction to trade Nifty. So I did not do any trade in Nifty, but I only traded Bank Nifty because there were some setups which were being formed, and I was getting a clarity if where the auction is developing, where it's going to get sell, where it will be finding support, and based on that support, if I'm finding reversal, then that is a good opportunity to take a long. So these were all some of the things which I was today looking at. So overall, if you see in Bank Nifty, this is sort of a short covering rally. So whoever was trying to short at the period high at this level, so right now we are again at the all-time highs in the Nifty futures chart. So furthermore, I'll be seeing further continuation on the higher side. That is the expected outcome. Or if you see, this is a P, and we have a sort of a spike. So P plus spike pattern, sort of which is being developed. So overall for tomorrow is auction. Sorry, tomorrow is the not the auction, but tomorrow is the expiry day. So tomorrow being the expiry day, I'll be seeing whether we are seeing this big range or whether we are seeing any balancing activity. Okay. Second thing is, let me see if there are any anomalies. So there are some anomalies, which are present here. So this is the region of the anomalies. Also, this is the value area. So I'll be carrying forward this tomorrow and see where the acceptance is, where the rejection is, and how the option is getting developed. Okay. So this is what the market profile understanding for the Nifty futures chart. So let me just mark the high, the close. So the close is also bullish, a good sign, and the low. Okay. So this is what I'm seeing in Nifty. Now let me quickly jump to Bank Nifty. So let me quickly start with the daily chart. So from the daily chart, we are seeing both the 20 EMA and the 200 EMA. And there is also a wide gap which is forming. That's fine. It makes there's no, but I'm just seeing that there is a big gap. Also, both of them are creating a slope, so indicating that we are in a upward direction. So more continuation to the higher side is expected in Bank Nifty. Okay, let me jump to the market profile charts. And from the market profile charts, one thing which I would like to share is, if you see the overall context. So I was actually a bit biased in Bank Nifty to for the auction to continue on the downside. With the reason why. So if you see, we had a sharp decline in the A period, then the B period form, and then the C period form. Also, we have a weaker lows. So this is a weaker references. We have weak lows, and so what I was expecting is further continuation to downside. We also have this some of the intraday references here, intrabar references here. Here also we have intrabar references here. So multiple references, which I'm able to spot. But what has happened is a sort of short covering rally has happened. The close of today in Bank Nifty is also bullish, and the auction once the sell-off happened, at the yesterday's low, exactly at yesterday's low, reversal came and the auction went again higher. Okay, so one of the reason can be because Bank Nifty was falling and Nifty was not falling. So this can be, but but that is one data point, that cannot be always true. So let me quickly start with why I was biased that it will be going down and it will be clearing this epoch levels. So if you see overall in Bank Nifty, let me again shrink the charts, and if you look at the overall context. Okay, so this was a double distribution, and this was a very important reference, which I was marking. So what happened is, the seller started stepping in. This was on the 5th of December. Okay, sellers started stepping in, and then we had two distributions, and the value started forming in the lower distribution. Okay, so after that, the Nifty, the Bank Nifty auction was developing in a single direction, after which a breakout happened on the 12th of December. So if you see how big this breakout was, the reason for this breakout is, first of all, there is this gap. Okay, second is there is one more gap here. Okay, so there are two gaps which are being placed, indicating that a lot of emotional buying is happening, followed by, we also have a peacock reference, and also there are weaker, so today's low and yesterday's low are same. So there are these four data points which I'll be carrying forward, and I'm not expecting any strong upside in Bank Nifty, but what I'm expecting is, after the short covering rally, if I see a sort of a balanced profile, then I'll be seeing continuation. I'll be expecting a follow through to the downside, and then clearing all these reference levels. Okay, so this is a 1200 point range which I'm expecting to get cleared, not in one day but maybe in 3 to 4 trading sessions. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting in Bank Nifty, because a lot of emotional buying is happening. Okay, a lot of emotional buying is happening today. Also, there was a lot of emotional buying, and at exact or visual references, the market took a U-turn, and that's how the auction played out. And followed by momentum players, they again followed, and they took the auction higher. So this is what I'm currently seeing in Bank Nifty. Let me now zoom the chart. Okay, so let me just mark the references which I'll be carrying forward for trading the tomorrow's expiry session. They are the today's high, today's close, and the today's low, which is the clustered lows. So these low is nothing but weak lows. Yeah. So let me just mark this as weak lows. So Nifty is looking strong, but Bank Nifty is not looking that strong. Okay. So again, there is a discord between both of the indices. So let's see, we'll get some clarity from tomorrow's open during the expiry trade, and where the auction is getting developed. But if you see, there are multiple anomalies. If you study the structure, there are multiple anomalies which are being formed, and sort of forced buying is seen with some of the weaker references, which I'll be carrying forward, and which I'll be expecting it to get clear with the weak lows. Okay, so that is what my trade plan will be for tomorrow's expiry trade. Now let me quickly jump to the Reliance chart, and in Reliance, what I'm seeing is the gap has not yet been filled. So this orange or shaded region is the gap. It has not yet been filled, and the auction is now just sort of balancing. An auction is just balancing, and there was a excess which was formed yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday, but on the 16th of December, the Monday's profile. So we have a strong level where sellers are present, and this is a good auction. So I'll be just waiting that I'll be marking this level, carrying forward this ahead, and seeing whether the auction is trying to reach here or not, because this is a strong resistance level. Okay, so this is one data point. Second data point is, what I'm seeing is there will be stops which are being developed. Also, there are some weaker references which are there. There are also stops at this level. So even though the auction was in both the direction, it first started forming higher, then it came lower. Again, the auction went higher. And the reason why is they are trying to find new sellers when the auction is developing higher, and when the auction is going lower, they are trying to find new buyers. Okay. So overall, I'm not seeing any more clarity. There were multiple balance profile. Okay, followed by this anomalies which has formed the all-time high in Reliance. Again, we are seeing a sort of overlapping value, so you can consider this as a 2-day balance and see whether we have a breakout on the above, or whether we have breakdown. Okay, and whether we are seeing any continuation to the higher side or to the lower side. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing in Reliance. And now let me quickly jump to crude oil. And crude oil, what has happened is, so today there is the inventory announcement, and currently if you see, the auction is getting rejected at the yesterday's point of control, and the auction is just developing slowly to the lower area and trying to clear. The first target is the AB power low, then the PPOC, and then the G2 low. Okay, so crude, it's more, again, it's more of a balanced profile. We have a small excess, so this will be an important reference to mark. We also have a poor low at the downside. Also, we have this one more weaker reference. So more data points on the lower side compared to the higher side. On the higher side, we have this rejection at the point of control. Now, if we look at the HVN, so this is the HVN, and I'll be seeing that we clear this HVN, clear this lows, and clear the AB power low, and also this low, or the US session low. So auction is just slowly and steadily they are just balancing. There are lack of conviction in terms of where the auction is going to develop, but there are strong data points on the lower side compared to the higher side. The auction is again below the POC, so just see, just wait, and just wait, keep this either your stop loss or this are your stop loss, and just see whether the auction we are seeing continuation on the higher side, or we are seeing rejection here, and then you can target the power lows, okay, and the AB power low. So that is what I'm seeing in crude oil. So with that, I would like to quickly end today's session and say thank you, and please do like, subscribe, and press the bell icon to get notified for the new videos which I upload. Also, one more thing is, I'm conducting a free webinar on the 25th of December. So the link I'll be sharing in the description below, and please do go there. I'm also currently running a poll on my website, sorry, on my Telegram channel and on my Twitter channel. So please do feel free to share your thoughts, and let me know whether you want to be be part of that free webinar. Take leverage and take advantage, and improvise your market profile learning. So I'll be leaving the description link below, so please do check. And with that, I'll be ending this session, and thank you again for spending your time, and let's catch up tomorrow again. With that, bye for now.